Hey guys, Justin here. Quick note, don't do this race. Alright, now that I've warned you, I guess we can look at the replay and how my race went, and I didn't do bad. It's very entertaining, actually. You'll see. Alright, let's take a look at that. So, Martinsville is actually fairly straightforward, to be honest with you. It's just a little bit of a different feel than most places that you will encounter. So, here we go. We're going into turn one, or sorry, this is the out lap. So, I like to go into third gear and then do a little trick here where I rev it up in third gear, but I don't bring it to the top of the gear. I kind of just bring it partially there and then get back into fourth. So you see, I didn't bring it all the way up to 8,000, 9,000. I kind of just brought up to 7,000 before putting it in fourth because I still have the grip coming off the corner. If my revs were too high coming off this corner, I would lose my rears and lose my momentum. But doing this little downshift but early upshift allowed me to have the benefits of third gear but without sliding my rears. And so you can also see from this, I'm starting here and I'm driving down the track to make the straight exit. We've heard that over and over again, but it's true a lot of the time. So it's even true in Martinsville. We want to straighten our exit and lengthen it as much as possible. So we bring a lot of momentum to the start finish line. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just stomp on the brake. So if you have V3s, this is where they kind of come in handy. But with the G29 pedals, the brake pedal, you kind of have to guess how much you brake. Whereas with the V3s, you kind of just press as hard as you can until you start feeling a little vibration, then you back off, but just to a little bit less than that. But a good idea with this 70% brake bias for qual, you can get away with, it looks like, about 2/3 brake, a little bit over 50%, maybe closer to 60%. So this amount of brake, and then, oops, crap. So our angle, we're going to want to brake straight into the corner, but don't arc it too much. Although an arc isn't the worst thing in the world, you just lose a little bit of time on entry. It makes it a little easier if you arc it, but what I'm doing here, I'm going straight to the line, and you see I bring that stab as it starts traveling down the track. I back it down to about 30%. So if I'm braking in a straight line at the start, which I am, I can do 60%, but as soon as my wheel starts turning, see wheel turning, now I'm down to a 30%. And then we hold that, and then once the wheel turns even more, we bring it down to about 20%. And then there's going to be a point in time in the corner where after you've been dragging that 20%, it's just a timing, to be honest with you. There's not really any markings I can give or anything, but it's just something you're going to have to experiment with, because I go straight from the brake to almost instant 100% throttle. About 80%, 90%. So I go straight from that brake drag to 90% throttle. And this actually a very balanced setup for this situation. So the car actually won't get too loose. It'll get a little loose. You see the wheel sawing back and forth. That's telling me it got a little loose. But just really experiment with how early you can get to that 90% brake throttle. And then also, you might be carrying a little too much speed, so that you want your car to be angled really in line with the curb here. So if your car, for whatever reason, is pointed kind of up the track because you're carrying a little too much speed, this may cause you to have to wait a little bit longer on the throttle. So you see I get all the way down to 66 miles an hour. That's the lowest that it gets. So compare that to what your lowest is getting to, and then we'll see how that means that you can pick up the throttle later or earlier, depending on. So anyways, we power off that with the throttle. And then 3 and 4, very similar idea. we're gonna get to, so the about half throttle going into 3 here, and this is just me feeling it out on my V3s, trying not to get any vibration. Oops. And again, if our car is still traveling straight, we can go on that half, but then the moment we start turning our wheel down into the corner, we bring it down to a 20 to 30% drag. And this one I took a little wider. I don't know why, but I just like that little bit more of an arc better into 3 than into 1. It just kind of helps me out for some reason. You probably can do a similar approach to 3 than to 1, but for this one I'm taking a little bit more of an arc. And when you take more of an arc, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to let your car turn down the hill a little bit more, and that's your cue to gas up. So you see I'm still holding 30 plus brake here. And then, okay, there we go. So this is a really important thing. This is when it turns back down the hill. So as you can see, throughout this corner, the car is kind of tracking kind of straight towards the wall. And then there's a very subtle movement right here, where instead of the curb getting farther away from you, it's actually getting closer to you. So when that curb is getting closer to you under your current braking, so that moment that the curb started getting closer to me was when I picked up my throttle, and I pick it up to full almost immediately. And I'm able to carry a lot of speed off the corner and utilize that wider entry. If you don't wait for that turn back down the hill, you're not going to get that momentum. So that's the really important part about forcing the throttle too early, is that if I were to force my throttle here, even here, before the car turns back down the hill, instead of tracking like this, it would actually just track like this. And this is always going to be the better direction to go. So just waiting that moment and losing that little bit on the moment, not stepping on the gas, will gain you so much on a tight exit like Martinsville. So you see, because I was able to keep it tight on exit, it just works out in every way possible, and we run a really good lap here. I think it's a really good lap. I hope it's a really good lap. But anyways, I don't know if we're going to be seeing many long runs in this race, but let's take a look at a small long run anyways. This race is a freaking joke, dude. Okay. All right, I guess I'll recap this. I guess we gotta. I didn't qualify because if I'm not going to qualify first, I don't see a point of qualifying. But I found the point of qualifying very early on. Let's see, we had a really quick caution, just normal wrecking stuff. And then the next caution, they go 3 wide, and I got nowhere to go. And oh gosh. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm safe up here. Not when that guy gets hooked right in front of me, and that's 2 minutes of damage. All right, that's 2 minutes of damage. So you see, what lap we're on? 7. All right, let's fast forward to lap 47, and yeah, I think 40 laps later, we've had about 6 more cautions, and I have fixed all of my fixable damage. I think I still have engine damage at this point, but we fixed what we can fix. We have fresh tires on, so I guess we can be competitive. Let's see what happens here. So, I mean, there's nothing to talk about because we never went more than like 3 green flag laps without a wreck. This race is honestly just a massive joke. Like, okay, this guy, he's a main character. This number 2 guy, he self spins, epic, brings out another caution, and then on the next restart, he's making up for lost time. Wait. And you'll see here, he's gonna go for the greatest move of all time right here. No, not right here. I think it's right here, actually. I mean... If you're worried about me, I lost 2 spots and got damaged. That didn't hurt anything worse than anything. So, you know. Okay. I guess that screwed me, but whatever. We have another restart to go. And then, this guy here. On the next restart. This is for the green one checker, by the way. So, but wait, there's more. There's more. Okay, so the race is over. Caution's out. We're just pacing for 2 laps. Well, he wasn't. He gets stuck in the wall after that. Oh, okay. We get a top 10 with the destroyed car after pitting 12 times and 12 cautions. And don't race this race. Don't do it. Don't do it.